Hello, my name is Sabrina Moreland, and I am one of the librarians here at Walters State. And today I'm going to show you how to use the Literature Resource Center because it will be really helpful whenever you're looking for all of those literary terms and different types of fiction that you're going to be writing your papers about in this class. So we're going to start off by going to the library homepage, and I know you've seen this before, but it's just library.ws.edu. And when you get there, just like we've done in the past, we're going to go to the A to Z database list, and then we're going to want to narrow our subject down to just English. All right, from here we're going to scroll down to the L's, and we're going to go into the Literature Resource Center. I usually start all of my English 1020 research in this database. It's really great for finding lots of information about really popular authors, folks that you're studying, short stories, poems, drama, has a lot of good information. So just for today's sample, I'm going to be researching Edgar Allan Poe's Masque of the Red Death. And I'm just going to show you a few different ways to conduct a search in this database and also some of the features that it has that makes saving your information helpful, emailing it to yourself, and getting a citation as well. So the very first thing I'm going to do is an author search. So I'm going to start off in this basic search box at the top, and I'm going to put in Edgar Allan Poe. And I always like to start with an author. Now you'll see that it recommends for you all the stuff about Poe, but I never use what the database recommends because I find that it limits my results. So I'm just going to use what I've typed in and hit search. And when you do that, you'll see at the top you get lots of different types of information. Now we want to keep this on literature criticism because we are analyzing different facets of whatever Poe has written. It could be his poetry or stories, whatever that is. We want to keep it set to literature criticism. Now on the right side of the page, where it says filter your results, all of these links are helpful for different reasons. And so the first thing I want to point out is over on the far right it says name of work. So I can click on name of work and I can see if the story or whatever it is I'm researching is listed already. So I'm pretty lucky in that the Masque of the Red Death is like number 2 right there. So I'm going to click on that little box and hit apply. And so this tells the database we're only looking for stuff on this story for Poe. And so now I just have these 27 results to go through, which is not bad. That's a really manageable number. Another thing I can do to search, if I don't want to start off using the author's name, is I could put in the name of that story. So I could type in Masque of the Red Death, and again, I don't want to use what the database recommends, so I can hit search. And under literature criticism, I get 156 results, which is really good. Now, this may feel like a lot for you to sort through. So again, on the right, these features are really helpful. So this time, I'm going to click on Search Within. And what this does is it allows me to enter terms or characters or different elements that I'm researching, and it will only weed out what's relevant in these 156 results under literature criticism. So this story, a lot of his stories, as you know, deal with horror and terror and being scared. So I'm going to put in fear, or let's do terror. Okay, so I'm using that Boolean operator here. So let's try this and see what happens. All right, this gives me 116 results. So you can use Search Within as many times as you want. You can continue to add different elements of that story or poem or play, whatever it is you're researching. One final way to search in this database is to conduct an advanced search. So next to this basic search box we've been using, I can click on Advanced Search. And when it loads, you'll see this kind of looks like what we've used before in Opposing Viewpoints or Academic Search Premier. We have our Boolean operators to choose from, and we also have these fields that we can change on the right. So what I'm going to do for this search is I'm going to put in the name of my story again in the first box, and I want to leave this as a keyword search. And then in the second box, I'm going to put fear or horror. Now, it's really important because I'm not looking for the name of the work. In that second and third box, if you use those, you have to change the field. And so I want to change this to keyword again because that makes it really broad. It doesn't weed out or limit you too much. So I have that, and I have all this tied together with my AND Boolean operator. So I'm going to hit search, and we'll see what kind of results we get. So I only get 6, which might be too few depending on what you're looking for. But if you do find an article that you're interested in, you can click into it. So I think this function of terror in Poe's work sounds really good. So I'm going to go into that article. And when you do that, you get all kinds of great features and tools to use. So the full text of the article is listed. And on the right, it even gives you some related subjects. So these might be links worth exploring that would give you additional information. And at the top, you also have the option of translating this into another language. You can change the font size if you need to. If you want to listen to the article, that is also an option. And on the right, there's ways to email and download the information to your own device. You can put it in your Google Drive account or your OneDrive cloud. And then at the very top up here, you can also use these icons to email to yourself, download, and print. You can also get the permanent link. So if I click on Get Link, it brings up this link that will take us directly back to this page. You don't want to use the link at the very top because that just takes us back to the portal for the databases. Lastly, probably the most important feature that students just love is the citation feature. And so since you're in English 1020, you'll need to cite where your sources come from using MLA style. So if I just click on this Cite tool, it automatically is set to MLA 8th edition. And so I can just copy and paste this into my Word document. Now, the great thing is all the information's there. It should be in the proper order for MLA. However, there are times when the algorithm for this database doesn't do it perfectly. So you always want to double check if the author's name is written properly. So in this case, it looks like they've written it the way APA is done. And they usually just abbreviate in APA, so you might want to explore that. The title is capitalized properly. Our journal is italicized. So you just want to go through and make sure all of the grammar, punctuation, that sort of thing is correct. But other than that, it should be ready for you to copy and paste. So this is how you use the Literature Resource Center for your literary studies in your English 1020 classes, and this would also be helpful for work in upper level English classes like American literature, British literature, and so forth. Again, my name is Sabrina Moreland, and I'm one of the librarians, and if you have any questions about any of these databases or if you need to set up an individual appointment, you can always just call the library or stop by the library, and all of us are really happy to help you. Thank you and have a great day.